Welcome to the C# Programmer. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to easily integrate Flutterwave in Blazor with no JavaScript. And yes, you heard it right, with no JavaScript. So before we go ahead, I would like to mention that this video was made possible by Integrated IT Solutions, a software development company here in Zambia. You can find a link to their Facebook page in the link below. So with that being said, we can now dive right into it. Okay, so first things first, we are going to have to open our Visual Studio. Okay, so we're going to open Visual Studio, and now we can create a new project. Otherwise, if you already have a project that you want to add Flutterwave payment to, you can just use that same project. So this time around, just going to create a new project to show a complete demo. Okay, so create new project, and we're going to create just a saver, a Blazor saver application. So we can simply just click on that, and then we can now enter our application name. So we want to name it college app. Okay, college app, and then let me just change the directory where I'm saving this project. Okay, so let's just do that. Okay, in there, and then we can go next. Otherwise, you don't have to change your directory, you can keep the same directory. Okay, then here we are using .NET 6. Okay, as you can see, that's the only one that I actually have installed here. And we're just going to say create and wait for the project to be created. Okay, now so since our Visual Studio is now running and our project has been created successfully, we are going to visit a GitHub repo that explains this. So this GitHub repo is created by Wisdom Jere. Okay, and it's called college app.ui rev bindings. Okay, so this is a nugget package that you can install in order for you to easily integrate Flutterwave in Blazor without the use of JavaScript. Okay, so first things first, I guess you can see the code is very much easy. You just need to copy it from here, paste it in your project or anything that you're building using Blazor, and then yeah, so I think let's dive right into it. So first things first, we are going to have to download the package itself. So we can just copy the name from here. Okay, so we're going to copy the name from here and go back to our Visual Studio, and this time around we're just going to right click on our project, so the project where we want to implement Flutterwave itself. So from there we're going to go to manage NuGet packages, so that we can open our NuGet package manager. Or you can also just enter this command, the command in your package manager console. So there's the command down here, this one. Okay, just make sure that every time you're installing, the version is the most updated version or the latest version. Okay, so we are just going to browse with the package. Just make sure that you're not installed, and we're going to look for, we're going to search for that college app.ui rev bindings. Okay, so we're going to just have to download this nugget package. Okay, we're just going to click OK and accept. Alright, and we have successfully installed our nugget package. Alright, so here we can see that our nugget package has added a class called payment request .cs. So this is just where you have all the information about how a payment request is made. Alright, so you can go through that. We've got the amount, the customer, the email, the phone, the transaction, and the rest. Okay, So the first thing that we're going to do in order for us to begin the process of enabling Flutterwave to work on our Blazor application is we're going to register our Nugget package in our program.cs file. So let's go back to the GitHub repo, and we're going to copy this code right there. Okay, so we're just going to get that code and we can put it in our program.cs file. Okay, and register it as a service just under the services there. Okay, so now here I guess you can see we have payment options. We've got the title, description, and the public key. So on your public key here, if you have a Flutterwave account, you can put your actual public key there. And then in case you don't have an account with Flutterwave currently, you can check out the video in the description below that explains that. Okay, so you're gonna have your key there, and then the next thing is here I guess you can see we say we can add multiple payment methods. Yeah, so before we actually go ahead, let's just sort out the error here. We have to add a namespace. Okay, so let's just hover over that. Okay, show potential fixes, and then we're just adding our college app.ui .wave bindings as a reference. So we're just going to do that using college app.ui .wave bindings, and there our error is fixed. So now we can try to add another payment option. So we're just going to say Ctrl D in that line so that we can duplicate the code there, and then we just replace that with card. Okay, there you can see. So I guess you can see there are actually other payment methods. You can choose based on the country where you are from those payment methods, and yes, a card is always card is universal, so you can choose card. You can add more as you like. Okay, so thereafter we are going to have to copy the next code snippet from the GitHub repo here. Okay, so we're going to add this piece of code to our index. Otherwise, if you already have an application or a web application that you're building that is already in existence, you can just add this to wherever you want to add your button. Okay, so by your button I mean your pay button. So now in this case I'm just going to put that in my index page, because this is just basic project. Okay, and I'm just going to add it there. I'm just going to replace it with that. So replace that with this code, and I guess you can see the payment request has got these attributes, and those are the same attributes that we are able to see in our button here. Okay, so amount, currency, and the rest. Okay, then thereafter I think what you just need to know is that our button is being called, I guess you can see right here. Okay, so we've got the request. The request is either when the payment is cancelled, or whether the payment should be processed. So if the payment should be processed, then the payment request should be handled, but if the payment is cancelled, then the response should be the on payment cancelled. Okay, so before you go ahead and run your application, you just have to make sure that you've replaced this public key here with your actual public key. Okay, so you can get your public key from your Flutterwave dashboard. All right, so let's just go ahead and run our application. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and click run our application. Okay, so the project is running now, and let me just bring this screen here. Okay, this window here. Right, so we have our simple button here, pay now. So we're going to click that button. Okay, so here we're going to select any network provider. So let's say Airtel, and then we can try out a number, for example. and then okay, we can simply just say pay. So you can try this with your public key, try to make a payment, and your payment is actually going to be successful. So right now I actually have a request on my phone, and I just have to enter my PIN. So you can do the same and try it out. So thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next one.